Buying a house is not a one-person show. There's actually a whole team of people working together, each with a specific role to get you those keys. Today, I'm going to run you through who's who in a typical real estate transaction. First off is you, the buyer. As buyer, your main jobs are to secure financing, choose the home, sign the documents, and bring the necessary funds to closing. You as the buyer will probably not ever really directly interact with the seller. Usually everything goes through the agents or the attorney. But they're the party involved on the other side, and they have their own needs and timeline that they'll be dealing with. Next is the buyer's agent or realtor. Your buyer's agent is your advocate. They're there to find homes, negotiate, guide you through the process, and communicate and coordinate with the team throughout the entire transaction. The other agent involved in this transaction is the seller's agent or listing agent. They represent the seller's interests. They'll be the ones marketing the home, coordinating the showings, and negotiating on behalf of the seller. Next up is the lender, sometimes called the loan officer or mortgage broker. This is the person who will work on handling your pre-approval. They'll also talk with you about your specific loan options and help you with working on the loan application. They'll be the ones you'll get your financial documents to. They'll help lock your interest rate and help guide you through the finance. Once you are under contract on a home, the lender's team will join them in helping to get that loan approved into closing. Usually their team consists of processors and underwriters. Your loan officer will keep you updated on your loan's progress throughout the transaction, and they'll be the one to give us the clear to close once all of your conditions have been met. You heard me mention some of the team members of the lender. One of those is the underwriter. You'll never meet the underwriters, but they're the ones behind the scenes who will be evaluating your credit and income and the property to make sure that everything meets the requirements of the loan. If they need further information on something, for instance, maybe they need to know what a deposit in your bank account was for, they'll tell the lender, and then the lender will communicate that to you. The home inspector is someone you'll hire once the home is under contract. This is a licensed professional who is going to examine the home for you top to bottom to give you a report on the condition of the home. Next up is the appraiser. They get independently hired by the lender to assess the home's value. The appraiser will visit and inspect the home and then compare it with recent sales to ensure that the price you're paying and the loan amount is justified by the market. While your home is under contract, you're going to shop for a homeowner's insurance policy. Here's where your homeowner's insurance agent comes in. The insurance agent is going to bind the policy effective for your closing day. They make sure you have the right coverage for your property, and they'll often work with the lender to provide proof of that insurance coverage. In South Carolina, we use closing attorneys to handle the closing. They will order and do a title search on the property pretty early on to make sure that there's no liens or legal issues against this property so that the title can transfer free and clear to the new homeowner. Here in South Carolina, we handle our closings actually at the closing attorney's office. And on the day of closing, they will explain the documents and get all the signatures from both the buyer and the seller. They also handle the money. They'll receive the buyer's funds and the funds from the lender, and then they will pay out to the seller and pay off the seller's mortgage with those funds. They prepare all of the legal documents that will be signed on closing day. And then after closing, it's their job to record the new deed at the courthouse to make sure that ownership gets transferred to you. The title company may be another party involved in the transaction. These are the main parties typically involved in a transaction for a purchaser to buy a home. Sounds like a lot of people, but don't worry. It is your real estate agent's job to kind of act like an air traffic controller between all the parties. As your realtor, I will communicate with the lender and the closing attorney throughout the process. I'll also schedule your inspections for you and coordinate everything for the closing. And of course, I'll make sure that I'm communicating with the seller's agent throughout the process. You'll mostly be communicating with me and your lender, and we're both going to update you on things throughout the process. Each person on your team has your back in a different way. I'm making sure you get the right house at the right price with all the right negotiated terms. The lender ensures you get the money you need to purchase the home. The inspector makes sure the home is sound, and the attorney makes sure the paperwork is solid. Together, we form your team. Buying a home is definitely a team effort, and we are all focused on one goal, which is making sure we can hand you those keys with a smile.